Hello, hello, hello. This is Farron. Welcome back to Faenura, episode 8. And today we're building an indoor pool, starting the hotel, and doing a lot of logistics. And if you like roads, realistic roads, please leave a like on the video. If you like indoor pools, please leave a like on the video. And if you like not yet built hotels, leave a like on the video. And yes, welcome to episode 8. And we're building roads, a lot of roads, as you can see. And I've been going down a rabbit hole with logistics and realism, which is new for me regarding these kinds of builds. I usually just put down a big parking lot, make a road next to it, and hope people get there safely. But here we are really thinking about how the roads are going to work and how it's going to be safe for people. Also, it's going to be a two-parter because I've been working on this, and like I said, I've been going down a rabbit hole, and the more and more I was working on this, the longer and longer it took. And this episode was already 6 hours long, so I've decided to split it up into also because it's a very busy season at the moment. It's of course almost Christmas. That means lots of preparation at the house. My girlfriend mostly does the preparation at home, which I'm very, very grateful for. But work is also very, very busy. We need to hit some goals before the end of the year. And that means that I'm dead tired when I get home. And editing and recording just didn't feel like it this week and the coming week. So I wanted to get something out for you guys, and this is where we are starting. And we are now working on the Faenura logistics. And as you can see, I'm building a big road in front of Faenura and the Faenura parking lot. I've extended the parking lot a lot. We had this little tiny parking lot in front of Faenura, like, okay, the parking lot is going to be here. And yeah, that's not going to sustain our big park at all. So I wanted to change it up. Now, we are going to make an intersection with traffic lights and lanes for people to maybe go straight and not into Faenura, and just worked on a lot of stuff here. A comment I got during streams was, why are you not building a roundabout? Well, again, we're looking at Efteling. Efteling doesn't have a roundabout in front of its entrance towards the parking lot. It has traffic lights. And that's the challenge I gave myself. I wanted to build an intersection with traffic lights and some kind of way for people to get in that way. I think they chose traffic lights because the road is reasonably close to the village, and building a roundabout wouldn't control the flow of the traffic a lot. And with the traffic lights, they can control the flow of the traffic a bit more. That's my guess. I'm not a city planner or a road planner, so I don't know. But I've took that intersection in front of Efteling as inspiration, and that's what you see me building here. So I'm basically making a 2-lane road that extends to a 3-lane road just in front of the park, so people have room to maneuver. And on the bottom side here, you can see also a road that circumvents the intersection. So if you want to go straight and not to Faenura, you can just circumvent the intersection, and maybe that gives the whole traffic a little bit more room to breathe and continue driving. So did a lot of research for this, and you can see me going back and forth with all the traffic lines and the way they function on the intersection. I actually looked up Dutch intersections, to figure out how this would function and how the lighting would look. So believe me when I'm gonna say there's gonna be like a few changes during this build to make it look at least like a real intersection. Is it a real intersection? I don't know. Would it function? Probably. Would it function optimally? Probably not. But I just had a lot of fun trying to build something that actually looks realistic. As you can see, I also added a lot of arrows and markings on the road, and trying to figure out where people can merge and people cannot merge, and yeah, really try to get everything to seem logical and working, and pretty happy with how this looks. And of course we need to add traffic lights, and that's what I'm starting to build here. And I really enjoyed building this. It felt like a little bit like a puzzle. How does it work? Does it work if I build it out? Where do the traffic lights go? Where does the signage go? Where do I need to start with the markings on the road? Where do I need now traffic lights? I really tried really hard to make it work. As you can see, I'm adjusting heights to fit trucks under it. It was something I also didn't take into account. And yeah, just really having fun with working out where everything needs to go. Also trying to build something that looked like a Dutch traffic light. As I said in the water park episode, I'm not too much of a art shape builder type person. So I try to get something that looks like a Dutch traffic light, which is black with a white border around it, and then a green, orange and red light. But yeah, they do look their part, I guess. I've been trying to figure out which lights I wanted to use, and I eventually went for these. And they don't give off too much light the way I made them, but it's how many people are gonna look outside of the park and really study the traffic lights? A lot of people now have said it, but probably not when you're just checking out the park. So this is a case of it's good enough, and for me this was good enough. Also because I felt already like I was going down a big rabbit hole, and later in this episode you'll see how this rabbit hole is expanding and expanding, because I also needed to figure out how to get people off the parking lot, and that means you're getting out on the left hand side, which might have not been the smartest move, but for the connection to the hotel it was a smart move, but it looks weird and it feels weird, but that's okay. You know, a theme park like this gives you unique problems, I think. So now I'm also working out like, okay, maybe I should make some signage, but don't get attached to this because I'm removing it again, and you'll see later on why. And here is that why. I wanted some bus connection to Faenura, and that big sign that I was building was in the way, and this is gonna be our like bus stop. Multiple buses can stop here, and this was, again, I need to figure out what the logistics behind this is going to be, because if I make the buses cross the road, they need to cross 3 lanes to get to their bus stop, and that would be like a danger, a nightmare. So I needed bus stops on both sides of the roads. But if I do that, the people on the other side of the road have to cross the road to get to Faenura, and that would also give us a lot of danger. And if I would put traffic lights and crossings for people, that would hold up the traffic. And we're gonna expect a lot of traffic here because it's a park, a theme park. So we're expecting that in the morning and in the evening, when the park opens and closes, there's going to be a lot of traffic. So I needed to figure out a way to get the people around. Now, in the Netherlands, we do a lot with tunnels. So I decided to add a pedestrian tunnel underneath the road to get people safely to the other side. And which is kind of normal here. In other countries, you might see an overpass, a walking overpass. We don't do that a lot here in the Netherlands. So that's why I went for the tunnel, because that seemed a bit more in line with what I'm trying to do with the park. I do have to say, building this was a bit straining, so I kind of switched back and forth between little bits and pieces of the build. So I do a bit of the tunnel, and then I do a bit of parking lot, and I'm just slowly working out everything and all the logistics behind the build. And here you can decently see how I'm working out the parking lot. I scaled the buggy a little bit down, so it looked a little bit more in line with a normal car. Figuring out the spacing for the parking. And also in the back, you can see how I am now planning to get people from the parking lot back onto the road. So the road is going to go around the parking lot, and people are going to be moved back towards the road. So it's basically a very big roundabout, square roundabout. I don't know what to call it, but yeah, there's there. So when you drive in, you can, from one side, you fill up the parking, and then from the other side you let people out of the parking, and that's basically what I'm building here. So if you would go into this, you would go from the top, go here towards the bottom, and then go out. So it's all one-way direction, because otherwise it would be a mess, let's be honest. And still you will have people who will try to backpedal through a parking lot, because let's be honest, they're not that smart. But I'll fix that in a moment. I'm gonna use gates and stuff to... Yeah, we want to control the flow of traffic all the way through the parking lot, and that's basically what I'm doing here. Back to our pedestrian tunnel, and this is the point where I start to work on the tunnel itself, because we do want to have it look good, you know. We just don't want a hole in the ground and be done with it. So I'm really working on the logistics behind the the logistics behind how everything looks in the look. And I'm saying the word logistics a lot this episode, but I just want to make it look good. In the background, you can also see that I've added bus stop shelters, abris as we call them in the Netherlands, that I've built. If you like those, I might put them on the workshop. If you see stuff in the episodes that you would love to see on the workshop, please let me know, because I have no idea what people would like, or if I'm building something that maybe people want to have a look at. But yeah, just let me know and I'll make it for you. Now, I've painstakingly working on this tunnel to make it look like a good tunnel, and I can already tell you guys that I built it, and then I did a few other pieces, and then I had my first Planet Coaster 2 crash. And basically the whole inside of the tunnel disappeared, and that work that I now doing painstakingly here was gone. And there was a big oh no. I still need to replace the tunnel a little bit. I'll make sure before I upload the park that I fixed that. Oh, talking about uploads. So basically we're kinda at the halfway point. So what I want to do after part 2 of this whole build, I'm gonna upload the park, and you guys can check out what I've done up until now. See it as a Christmas present, a late Christmas present. Part 2 is probably gonna come next week. As you can see, I even decided to put grating on the floor for water. So if water flows down the tunnel, it will be caught in the grating, and we won't have too much problems with the water. And then, of course, we need to cover it so too much water won't directly fall into the tunnel. And that's what I'm doing here. And these aquatic tunnel pieces are actually ideal for it. Again, measuring it out with the guest statues just to figure out if it's gonna work. And after I placed this, I realized, okay, I can just close this off and yeah, make this a nice little insight into our tunnel. And yeah, and I can copy that on the other side of the road as well. A little bit more detailing here, making signs where people can read the times of when the bus is coming and which lines of bus are coming. Again, I made them look like the Dutch model, so yellow signs where the bus times are on, and gray signs where you can watch what times the bus is coming. And like I'm not overly detailing this. I'm not making the suggestion of letters and everything, because again, it's outside the park. This is just decoration to make the park look good. And even though I'm really happy with the look of the park, I don't really happy with the look of this. I'm not trying to overly detail and make like thousands of pieces, use thousands of pieces to make this work. I added some of those right-of-way markings, and here I'm building the signage. Again, Dutch. This is the Dutch signage, blue and white. Try to do it in the style. And here I'm working out like, okay, if I'm making road markings, how is this going to work? Is this going to look good? And I eventually decide to put it in a portrait, not a landscape. There it is. And work out how to get the signage changed. Now, something I learned during this is that those letters you can scale have very, very big hitboxes, and I wanted to make a different sign on the other side, but when I wanted to adjust everything after I made it one blueprint, or not a blueprint, one group, I could not select everything I wanted to change. So I decided to not do it. I'm copying over the same sign towards the other side. I know that one doesn't make sense, but yeah, I was done. Let's just say that I was done. And here I'm making a making it look like if you go straight, you go to Eindhoven, Helmond, and Amsterdam, and if you go to the left, you go to Faenura. And basically when something is an attraction, they make it white with blue letters. And again, why am I doing so much detailing for something that's on the outside? I don't know, but it looks good. So let's just keep it in, because I'm actually quite happy with how this looks. Now it's time to put in more bushes and trees to make everything come together. And yeah, really happy with how suddenly with those bushes and trees, and I think I say it every episode, it comes alive. And as you can see here, the look of that, it now looks like a real Dutch road. I decided to put just trees and bushes at the edge of the border as well. Slowly working out everything using the brushes I made, the pre-made brushes like this, and just filling in everything outside. And here I'm also filling in a bit that we're gonna remove a bit of because the hotel is going to be in place. But really happy with how this all looks. And now it's time to work on the road towards the hotel. That's what you see I'm doing here. Just also figuring out how the logistics of that work. I assume that not too many people are going towards the hotel, and we are going to control that, of course, because usually a check-in at a hotel is a little bit later in the day. So I'm not 100% fussed that we need to make an intersection here that's gonna hold up that line, because that's not gonna be too much of a problem. And now the right of way is gonna at least make sense, and you just merge when you leave the hotel. You merge into that round way that leads you back to the traffic lights. So I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. And also, I kind of like the idea that you're going down a little road that takes you through the trees towards the hotel. So it's a bit like not on top of the parking lot. And for the hotel and swimming pool, I have a story in mind as well. I wanted to because there's a specific pool I wanted to build, since we know there are pools, and that is not in line with how we are stealing everything from Efteling, because the Efteling bungalow park has a pool, and it's actually themed towards Efteling, not an overly super themed pool, and it's not a big pool, but I wanted to build something else. I wanted to make a typical 90s pool where I've spent multiple children's birthday parties from friends and myself and that's really what I wanted to build from the get-go, when I knew there were pools in the game, and this is my excuse to do it. So my idea behind this is that the hotel and pool were added in the 90s to Faenura, and they were actually built as modern. Nowadays we would look at those and like, oh, that's drab, and it doesn't fit the whole Faenura vibe at all. And that's exactly what I kind of want. It's like this juxtaposition, and like Phantasialand, maybe they started redeveloping a lot in later years, and the pool and the hotel are still on the list to be thoroughly renovated. So they're gonna look really like an eyesore when you look at the rest of the park and the way we're shaping the park, and that's exactly what I want. You can see these two flat rides there, by the way. Those two flat rides are staying probably, but I still need to decorate them, and they're gonna be our wall to make sure you can't see the hotel too much, because let's be honest, this hotel and the pool we're going to build a hotel in the next episode. The pool is going to be an eyesore when you look at the rest of the park. And that's exactly what I wanted. So here I'm just trying to figure out where the hotel was going to go. The hotel was going to act as a shell to put all the dressing rooms in there and take care of that traffic, because that's also a thing I really need to work on. And now I'm starting to plan out the pool. So it's going to be, like I said, a 90s pool and nothing too exciting there. And that's exactly what we want. We don't want a pool that has all the luxuries and all the amenities. And no, it's just going to be a pool, a straightforward pool like I'm building here, and probably removing again to change the orientation again after I went to all that trouble to change it. Oh yeah, here I'm trying to figure out if I can change it while it's here, and then I just remove it and make a new one again. There it is. And now we're going to make the definite pool, because I wanted to go from shallow to deeper. And then in the deeper part there's going to be like a lazy river going around, and that's a very typical look for a pool in as I can remember, in those 90s, maybe early 2000s pools. They had like a just basic pool where you could swim in, and then a kind of lazy river where you didn't use those rubber thingies, but just a kind of lazy river that goes around and ends up in the pool again and makes a bit of an island in the middle. And that's exactly what I'm building here. I had a little wading pool to the side, and for the little kiddies to play in. And we're gonna mostly look at the design of the pool in this episode, and the design of the walls and the outside. In the next episode we're gonna decorate the pool also a little bit more, because I hardly have done that up until now. And yeah, in the next episode we'll put in some more plastic plants and just the 90s crap they put into pools when those were still prevalent. Well, those still are prevalent, I think. But you can see they're nowadays adding a lot more flumes and adventure stuff towards it. In the Netherlands we call this a subtropical pool, so it's warmed up a little bit. And you could see in those days the tropical pools were more with big flumes and more adventurous, and like rapids and everything. And subtropicals were like more like leisure pools, but they were also not that expensive. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm building. And you can see here I'm also adding another pool, and this is the pool where the flumes will come out in, because I didn't want them to directly go into the bigger pool, so we can avoid people dying in the pools because somebody jumped into their neck. It always will happen, but you know, for safety regulations we try to keep it kind of safe. I also wanted to add 2 flumes, and that go to the outside of the building and back inside, because that's a look I've seen a lot with the pools we know from those days as well. Again, here I feel like I don't know enough about flumes. I'm trying to make a flume and I'm trying to make it work, knowing it has to go outside, and it took me quite a bit to figure it out. You know, before Planet Coaster I knew not a lot about theme parks, and now before Planet Coaster 2 I don't know a lot about flumes, so hopefully that will change in the course of time. But I'm not a flume enthusiast, so we don't know if that's going to be a thing that's going to be there in the future. So do I add it? Yeah, I do add the second one immediately after, and try to wiggle it around so it kind of lines up eventually with the other flume. And there yeah, making them both go out in the corner of our what should I call it, capture pool, flume pool, where they end up in. And, it's gonna be a big back and forth, changing it up a bit because one of the flumes didn't work anymore as they should work, and it's a mess. But I get there. I'm getting there. I wanted to put two pools in there that were like hot tubs in the middle, as you can see here. And I thought that was like really smart, and we're gonna put some steam in there, and then they can act as a hot tub. Yeah, there was one big problem. As soon as people come out of there, they, without swimming, they couldn't path back to the exit. And if the AI was thinking, I want to go to the exit, they were just complaining like, I can't get out, I can't get out. And it was very annoying. So I decided to end up getting rid of these and put in chairs and a little bit of a tropical plastic palm trees in the middle, which seem to work. And here I'm starting to work on the building. And like I said, 90s drab. And so that means it's just gonna be like this big white wall that's just there. This big functional building, but with no soul or heart at all. And really enjoyed building that. Just building it that way, and made it white. I've seen a few of these, the whites, a few of these were blue, but more and more I was thinking about it. I wanted just this sterile build. Sterile is a good word for this, and so I decided to embrace that with the white and make it real, like jump out of the environment, and especially for like a high budget theme park with all that theming we've already been doing, like for Faenura, this would be like a monstrosity next to that, and I'm all here for it. I'm really liking it and loving it, to be honest. So here I'm working out where the walls are going to be, and here you can see how our flumes are going outside and back inside. Which I really love. Yes, I'm building the walls just straight through them. I'm not gonna ride these flumes. They're the flumes to look at. So I'm perfectly fine with the flumes just looking like that. And as you can see, I'm avoiding the corner with the lazy river there. That's because I also had another idea for that, which is also something I saw for a lot of the early swimming pools I was referencing, and that's Tropicana in Rotterdam had this big dome where everything happened in, and I kind of wanted to make my homage to Tropicana and have that dome there. Or not really a dome, like a round side to this wall, which I'm starting to design here, with lots of glass and lots of pillars. That's basically it. And while I was trying to work out the dome, that's the point that I found that people were getting stuck when they got out of the hot tubs. So I decided to delete the hot tubs, and I'll go back in later to change the look of those. But let's get back to the dome. The dome is more interesting. So what I wanted to do is just get a lot of glass, because now we have glass. That's also a reason that I'm started to build this dome. And just make one portion of the dome here. It would even be better if I made it like a wedge, but I didn't. I should have. But by the time I realized that I should have done it like that, I've already built like this whole quarter. So I decided to roll with it, see how it looks when I'm done. And actually, I'm happy enough with the result to have it. And again, I'm also considering this pool to be like a decoration for the actual park. Even though we're making it fully functional and everything, I kind of just did want to do that like that. And now the exciting part, and that's making the dome go around. And I needed to do a few adjustments, I think. Yeah, here you can see me just doing a little bit of adjusting, and now the exciting part, and that's making it go around. And oh boy, this is always nerve-wracking. And to be honest, it worked first time, and that's really happy about it. It's maybe a bit of mess of beams in the middle, but it also looked cool and like modern early 2000s architecture. So you know what? I just kept it in and just tried to fit the dome over the pool, and yeah, here it is. I'm just really happy with it looks like, how it looks like, and now we just need to remove everything that is not that connects it to the rest of the pool and makes it one nice building. Yeah, really chuffed with how this looks, and the shadows on the floor as well will make it really nice with the look. So I'm here doing a bit of changing up the walls, figuring out how high they need to be, because I want, of course, the flume platform needs to fit inside as well. And that's what I'm trying to figure out here. And yeah, this is starting to look like the indoor pool we want. The indoor pool, the drab 90s indoor pool, and I'm really happy with it. Now, of course, our indoor pool also needs a roof on top of the square building, and that's what I'm starting to do here. And these aquatic pieces, these beveled wall, I think they called it, but to me they look like supports. So I use them as supports and really finished off. I'm so glad that we now have glass. That's basically what I'm also really happy about. And with the roof and glass in place, it's time to build a very ugly sign. And that's on purpose. I was just thinking back at how pool signs looked in the 90s, and they are very ugly. So that yellow is what I placed. And you can also see I was placing glass. Really happy there. And here finally you can see how I'm changing that middle island and gonna put in the tropical trees and everything. back to the flumes where I color them yellow and I think green or blue. And again, this is based on my experiences as a kid, that all those flumes were just a monocolor going outside. Lots of yellow ones, by the way. I think, do I make this green or blue? I keep forgetting. Might make it green, I don't know. I was just editing a lot with this one and having fun working it out. It's blue. It's finally blue. I've put in some Aquatica pieces to make it look like there's been a hole cut in the wall and the flumes have been affixed to the wall at those points. Yeah, just to make it look a little bit more logical. I also decided to throw a few simple decorations on the wall, and that's about it. Like I said, in theming this pool has nothing to do with Faenura. It's just what they would build as the height of modernity in the 90s, but that's it. So we could, in the future maybe, redo this whole pool as an episode into like a Faenura pool, and then really theme it and everything and remodel it. Let me know if that's something you guys would like in the comments below. The last thing I did was get the glass roof on top of our pool, and then we do need to do a little more detailing and stuff inside the pool, but that's something for the next episode. I think this episode has been long enough. It's coming up to 3/4 of an hour, which is a long episode for what I usually do. But like I said, I got down a rabbit hole of realism and building, and I was enjoying it, but it was getting way too long for me to really get going. And but yeah, here's our roof being built and slowly getting all the details out. So if you really enjoyed this episode, please leave a like on the episode. Maybe consider a subscription so you can see more of me building Faenura and of course the Lord of the Rings water park, which is the other project I'm working on. And yeah, this is slowly starting to become a full-fledged indoor pool, and the hotel is gonna come next episode. So I think the only thing left to do is look at our pool as it stands now. And there is our beautiful pool in full glory, 90s crap. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out, and the look is amazing. There's still a few details that need to be done, but that's going to be next episode, and as well as we're going to add the hotel. So for now, I'm just saying bye-bye. Bye-bye.